5:30 now, more than 24 people, including some from Long Island and New Jersey, have been charged in a fraudulent nursing diploma scheme. Federal prosecutors say that 3 once accredited South Florida nursing schools sold more than 7,600 fake documents for $15,000 each, and that totals $114 million.
That's greed.
Investigators
right
say
there.
that while some of the people who bought the fake diplomas and transcripts had healthcare experience, others did not.
This scheme has me furious. From 2016 to 2022, 7,600 fake nursing diplomas were given out by 3 South Florida schools to these now practicing nurses. I am dumbfounded. Has nobody out there, preceptors, educators, managers, noticed the lack of experience that these nurses have? Let's talk about bedside manner. Let's talk about skills. Let's talk about knowledge. I could keep going on and on and on. All right, y'all, before I go further into Project Nightingale and unfold it for you even more and bring up concerns that I have, questions I would love answered, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm gonna start on a positive note here. Let's talk about the positives of this Operation Nightingale scheme. The 3 schools, the 3 Southern Florida schools that were in operation of this are all now closed down. And another positive, here we go, another positive of this whole story is that it says, in quotes, the 25 people charged this week include administrators of the Florida schools and administrators and affiliates of a series of nursing test prep academies in other states, so it's not just Florida here, that recruited candidates to buy the fake diplomas, end quote. So this is great, right? This is wonderful. The people who were a part of this scheme are now charged, and I've read that some of them are facing up to 20 years in prison each. But it's not great. It's not. It is great, but it's not great. There are still 7,600 nurses, quotes, nurses out there, and 1/3 of them are practicing. Now for a moment, I had to step back and think, okay, are these nurses victims? Are the people who recruited these nurses, what did they say to them? Were they saying, hey, this is how you can become a nurse. You don't have to do the work, but I can give you this diploma for $15,000. What were their recruiting tactics? Did these recruiters portray fake information? Are these nurses really victims in this situation? And after pondering for maybe 5 seconds, I came to a conclusion. No, not at all. They are not victims at all. Now you may think that's a bit cold, a bit brash, a bit bold to say, but here's why, and hear me out. Straight from the horse's mouth, on Georgia State Board of Nursing, it clearly says to apply for registered nurse RN licensure, you must have graduated from an approved nursing education program. This is what it says in order for you to sign up to take your NCLEX. It's right there online. Right where you have to go to sign up to take your NCLEX. Florida has even more information on their website saying, with one keyword, graduate. Graduation. Graduate of an accredited nursing program. Texas also says graduate approved. I feel like I can say, without having to go on to all 50 states' websites, their Board of Nursing websites, that every single state requires you to be a graduate of a nursing program, an accredited nursing program. In Florida and Georgia alone, 2 of the states that these nurses are currently working in, nurses, remember I'm putting that in quotes, it clearly defines the requirements to sit for your NCLEX. And this is why these nurses are not victims. I want you to watch 2 of these clips that I pulled out of a press conference. The whole video is 32 minutes long, so I'm not gonna play the whole video, of course, but watch these 2 clips, and maybe if you don't think they're guilty, that might change your mind, and listen up, just hear me out through these clips.
The recruiters describe the fake documents to their students as a shortcut to getting those licenses and jobs. Those nursing candidates who agreed, they each paid about $15,000 for a fake diploma and transcripts. And obviously, they were able to avoid hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of clinical training. These people didn't go through that. That part was completely skipped. And the documents falsely represented that the candidates had completed all the hands-on clinical training and coursework required to become registered nurses or licensed nurse practitioners. The fact of the matter, though, is the nursing candidates had done no work.
I could not even imagine being taken care of by a nurse who didn't even go to nursing school, who did not complete the clinical hours, who did not complete the required classes to graduate, but instead got their transcripts and their diploma by paying $15,000 instead of actually doing the hard work that it takes to obtain a nursing degree. Like, how do you even trust that nurse? Nursing is one of the most trusted professions. And now I'm like, if I'm in the hospital, is this nurse even a real nurse, or did they fakely obtain, or did they falsely obtain their nursing degree? Does this person know to scrub the hub before they give me an IV push medication so they don't give me a systemic infection? Does this person know how to put on sterile gloves for my child, for my grandmother, before they insert a catheter? Does this person even know how to do wound care? Do you even know the stages of wound care? Do you even know what edema is and what you do about edema? Do you know how to question a doctor's order? Because let me tell you, there are many times that I've questioned doctor's orders, and it's not because I learned it in the books, it's because I learned it on clinical. So much of nursing is hands-on learning. It's not all from the books. I reached out to one of my clinical instructors and one of my class instructors today to ask her, hey, how many clinical hours did I complete in my diploma program? Y'all, I was in a diploma program. It was a 2-year nursing program. That's it. Fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer. You did your nursing classes and you did all your clinicals and all those prereqs that like BSN degrees require you to have. That was tied in with your nursing classes. So it was a 2-year program, and I had 640 hours of hands-on clinical experience. To break that down even further, that's 88-hour shifts that I worked in nursing school, obviously for free, to get the education that I needed. And all of these fake nurses out there did none of that. I don't consider these nurses real nurses. I personally believe every single one of them should have their license revoked. But that's just my opinion. Here's what's going to happen to those nurses.
These allegedly fraudulent documents may have allowed nurses to serve in critical healthcare roles. Thus, we've provided the names to the National Council of State Boards of Nursing and state licensing boards in all 50 states, as the boards govern the approval of nursing licenses with their respective states. The state boards are responsible to take any action against the allegedly fraudulent nurses under their purview.
So we don't know yet. Will these nurses' licenses be revoked? Is it going to be public knowledge? I would love to know if it's public knowledge, but then it trickles down to, well, the hospitals or the agencies who have these nurses on board, are they going to be sued by patients, especially if something bad happened to somebody? Who knows what's going to happen? Well, none of us will. God knows, but none of us know. Do you think these nurses should be allowed to practice, especially those nurses who obtained their degrees back in 2016 and have been working until now, 2023? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all of your opinions. I want to get good conversation going down below. But that is it for today, y'all. My venting session is over. That is my reaction to this. I am flabbergasted. I'm going to use that word. I'm flabbergasted at this whole situation. It makes me angry. It makes me sad. It makes me terrified. There are so many emotions that go into this, knowing and thinking that I potentially could be working next to nurses who didn't even go to nursing school, or I could be being taken care of by a nurse who didn't even go to nursing school. Thinking about having this baby in July and thinking, is this nurse even really a nurse? Does she even know, or does he even know how L&D works? Yeah, you're at work, but you didn't even learn any of the stuff in nursing school. I could just keep going on and on and on. But that is it for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Comment down below. Want to hear your opinion, want to hear your thoughts. Do you think these licenses should be revoked? Do you think they should keep their licenses, especially if they've been in longer? I personally think every single one of them should be revoked and face criminal charges. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. Have a great day, everyone. See ya.